Hello, welcome back to our weekly daily Bible discussion. For this week, we have went over, of course, continuing Leviticus, continuing through Mark, Psalm, and Proverbs. The Psalms and Proverbs we're going to be going over all year, of course. But as for Leviticus, we've went over things like the ceremonial cleansing, purification offerings, sin offerings, burnt offerings, and just like general atonement for many types of sin. And later on into this week, we got into controversial areas like Leviticus 18, where it goes over things like being where it is against God's will to be for incest, bestiality, or homosexuality. And we've also went through Mark, which of course is one of the Gospels and goes through Jesus's ministry. And it kind of shows things a bit differently versus Matthew. It was like it sort of describes some of the same events through a different perspective. And it shows Jesus's many interesting interesting things he's done, such as walking on water, calming the seas, or calming the waters of the lake they were crossing, and exorcising demons. And of course, even talks about demons like reacting to Jesus himself. It's basically they see him and they know that he is the Son of God, so they freak out, basically. And of course, we go through Psalms, which have been very inspirational this week, because they're basically perseverance and understanding that God is Lord, and that He is someone that we can rely on even in tough times and through struggle and strife. Proverbs have been very helpful as well, because they go over good life advice for everyday things, such as all the way back in February 27th, where it reads, "Hiding hatred makes you a liar, slandering others makes you a fool." A very useful life advice and lessons. And let's see what else. We are basically very close to the end of Leviticus. In fact, I think it is on March 3rd where we will be reading through the end of Leviticus and beginning on Numbers. So that's going to be interesting when we get to that, when we finish Leviticus. Of course, Leviticus has been very interesting thus far because of all the instructions and the great detail that the book goes through to explain the rules and instructions for the Israelites and the foreigners living among them. And it was talking about things that God did not like that other nations were doing. And he was telling them that because that they were doing these detestable things are the reasons why I'm driving them out, so that you may live in their lands. It is very powerful, I think, in a way. These readings with things like that shows that God didn't just want the Israelites to follow these rules, but he wanted all nations to follow these rules. That is exactly why he decided to help the Israelites by running those people out of Canaan, because they are doing things that God has detested. So God is saying that this is a universal thing that you should not do. Like, it is a universal law. Do not commit adultery. Do not commit sexual immorality. Do not commit incest. Do not commit homosexuality. Do not commit bestiality. Also mentions about things that I think one may consider controversial, like no tattoos. There's a part in a recent reading from the past couple of days. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Obviously, it's in Leviticus somewhere. Sorry, just give me a second. Is this it? Oh yeah, it also mentions in the February 26th reading, Leviticus, is this 20 or 19? I think this is 19, yep. Let's see, do not practice fortune telling or witchcraft. Do not eat meat that has not been drained of its blood. Do not trim off the hair on your temples or trim your beards. Do not cut your bodies for the dead, and do not mark your skin with tattoos. I am the Lord. Do not defile your daughter by making her a prostitute, or the land will be filled with prostitution and wickedness. And it goes on and it mentions other rules that God demands for his people and for the foreigners living among them. Leviticus is a very interesting read because it goes heavy on God's explicit rules that he wants everyone to follow, including the nations that broken these rules and have defiled God because they have defiled these rules and these laws. Okay, I think that's going to do for... Oh yeah, of course, also in Mark I should mention that Jesus, of course, is facing criticism against the Pharisees and skeptics as well as deniers or doubters, as saying that the things he is teaching make no sense, or that the things he's teaching is blasphemy, and things like that. Tough persecution that he's facing by many people during that time. Even to this day, his word and his followers faces much persecution. So, it's a powerful word then, and it is a powerful word now. I think that's going to do for our weekly report. I hope you guys have learned much from this report. Let me know if there's anything I am missing, or if there's anything more you'd like for me to add. And I think that's going to do it for now. So thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for your support. And we shall see you next time. God bless. That was the wrong thing. Alright, God bless.